Good afternoon, everyone. I'm humbled as well as honored to to moderate this eminent personalities who are basically going to have some interesting discussions and perhaps have some insights on the trillion-dollar economy, which is basically the subject out here. So Anish has already introduced all of them to you. Perhaps I can begin with Peter, with your permission. Can I begin with you?
Yes, please.
So, Peter, India on the way to become a $2 trillion economy. First question, do you believe it's for real, or do you believe that it is still a pie in the sky that one is looking at?
First of all, thank you for inviting me. Let's start with that, because it's an honor to be here and to be able to see so many interesting brands, malls, and players in the retail space. I was trying to, when preparing, I was trying to imagine what 1 billion or 2 trillion is. I mean, it's 12 zeros, which is something. If you have to think about how much it is, and if you then take further steps on how can we all create that industry to that enormous amount, that's an unbelievable job, which cannot be done by men only. So therefore, we need to have something, automated, AI, data analytics. So we need all these things. But it all starts with the consumer, and the consumer is here in this country is also an enormous number that there is, with a huge ambition, with a huge growth rate, with a huge, basically everything. So I believe we will get to the 2 trillion.
So you believe that we'll get to 2 trillion?
Yes.
So that's a welcome statement. And Peter, you mentioned about AI, you mentioned about hyper-personalized, when we were in the back door discussing things, hyper-personalized consumer journeys which are becoming the reality today. So, with your Pathfinder's background, how do you see this consumer is evolving, and what would be the impediments, challenges, and each challenge representing an opportunity in this phase wherein the hyper-personalized consumer journeys aided by AI are the reality, and how do you foresee that evolving in the country?
Well, the consumer, if you look at the retail, I'm over 2 decades now in retail. If you look how we used to treat the consumers, it was we know the customer, we know what to do, we know what to give them, we define what it was. That's the old school way of doing retail. The consumer, they bring us their money, they know what they want, and they want us to fulfill that need. So they want convenience, they want their hyper-personal messages brought to them, they want hyper-personal offerings, they want it at the moment they desire to. So that there is, and we should adapt to it. The only way to survive as a retailer and as a property owner is to cater to those needs of the consumer. And we need AI, we need learning, we need education, we need a lot of that to do it. And I'm not going to say it too often, but I think that with Retail GPT, we can contribute to that, yes.
Thank you, Peter. From Peter, I will move to my immediate left, Harshji. So, one of the questions which still goes on people like me, haunting me at times, what role would regulatory framework, especially ease of business when people talk about it, play in augmenting the retail infrastructure in the country? Pehla sawal. And, all this is coming in at the time when we are talking about licensing, we are talking about Trump tariffs, which has become a boardroom discussion in most of the companies. So all this and the regulatory framework, how do you see this is basically going, the ease of business? Do you believe that India is well prepared to augment the retail infrastructure?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is true that everybody is discussing about ease of doing business. We go many authorities. 2 days back, I was with the Honorable LG in Delhi, Everybody is discussing about ease of doing business. You will get your all approvals within 30 days or so. Though I'm a very positive and optimistic person, but unfortunately, till now, this is not real actually. So the authority says you will get the approvals and everything in 30 days, and suddenly we find on 29th day an objection. So you have to comply that again, and then 30 days meter start again. Then we'll get again, you can say some shortcomings and that. So this is true that end of the day, one fine day, the government has to, you can say, take action on ease of doing business, and that is the basic mandatory requirement. Today we are 4 trillion economy, we all know. Real estate is around 8% and retail is around 12%. So 20% retail and real estate, it's a big chunk out of the 4 trillion. And everybody is talking about 30 trillion by 2047. And the pie of retail and real estate will go to from 20 to 27, 28%. So real estate and retail both are, you can say, hand to hand, and ease of doing business is need of the hour. We all are discussing with the authorities that if you want to, you can say, grow retail, ease of doing business is the first mandatory requirement. So I'm unfortunate it is not practical real, but I'm positive, optimistic it will be soon implemented and it may happen very soon.
और हर्ष जी, इन ब्रांड्स की महत्वाकांक्षा पूरी करने के लिए आप इतनी महंगी रियल एस्टेट पे इतने सारे मॉल्स बना रहे हैं, आपकी रिटेल जो ब्रांड्स हैं या जो रिटेल सेक्टर है उनसे क्या अपेक्षा है?
नो, महंगा तो खैर कुछ नहीं होता, कभी कुछ सस्ता नहीं होता, कुछ महंगा नहीं होता. अगर आपका बिजनेस सही चल रहा है, आपको उसका रिटेल रेंटल मिल रहा है. अगर नहीं चल रहा है तो नहीं चल रहा है. 100 रुपये भी सस्ता है, 100 रुपये भी महंगा है, 500 रुपये भी सस्ता है. तो सस्ता महंगा डिपेंड्स अपॉन द बिजनेस कैसे चल रहा है. एंड लकीली, फॉर्चुनेटली, in particular Delhi NCR, retail is growing like anything. Lots of new brands are coming, lots of people are in queue. We are just launching a new mall in July this year. The mall is already 100% leased out, and I'm getting EOI for 2027, 2028 itself. So retail is growing. People are looking for quality retail, A-grade retail formats, A-grade retail centers, and unfortunately, very few are coming in the big cities.
So, see, this is a great indices to measure, wherein you see that the A+ retail infrastructure is highly in demand, wherein, you know, the mall infrastructure or the shopping center infrastructure that the development partners are coming up with is getting taken in a jiffy, and, you know, you have, as of today, lack of availability in terms of the retail infrastructure. You know, moving on from Harshji to Nitesh, who represents the retail sector in A, B, C, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 towns all across the country with a very, very large network of stores. So, you know, we want to understand from Nitesh especially the fact that how is his retail business growing in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities across the country?
Thank you for the question. So guys, with rise of Bharat, I will say, and thanks to real estate not developed so much like what Harshji told in Delhi NCR and all, Tier 2 and 3 people are making good money. You know, the Indian consumer is now behaving very differently. Also the Tier 3, 4 city and Tier 1 Delhi metro city, consumer awareness is the same what the guy has in Gorakhpur, Balia, Sitamarhi, Jhanjharpur, whatever you go to the small town city. The brand loyalty is not anymore much in this class of people. They want latest design. They want their affordable price point. They want whatever is in Milan shown, maybe immediately in the market. So mind to market has become very important in the market today. All the regional brands especially, you know, a lot of brands are there who are only in East India or only in the UP part of very strong. They are 1,000, 2,000 crore. These all brands are doing very well in 2 and 3 tier city. with government, lot of push to the cities, development of cities, roads, infrastructure and all. I will say again, the rise of Bharat is happening in this 2-tier, 3-tier market. If I talk about the apparel business, there is almost 9 lakh crore unorganized apparel businesses in India, which lot of companies, which are in mass business, which are in this 2-tier, 3-tier or 4-tier cities, is trying to be organized. And consumer is also getting the good design, price point and an environment, AC environment to buy the product. Now, 300 rupees, 400 rupees, average selling price product are sold in a air conditioned environment in these cities. The design which maybe international brand is bringing on autumn winter 25, the same time this regional players are also able to bring those kind of design, those kind of colors in these 3-tier, 4-tier cities. So how we will reach to 2 trillion economy, Praveen, is one of the reason, because the 70% population is buying very hard. Look, the luxury and all, people have no much issue. They are buying, they used to buy 100,000, they are buying 50,000 suppose, or so luxury brands are doing what they are supposed to do there. But the consumption in these markets have increased. Their aspiration has increased. The young generation has thinking very differently. The digital environment in these all markets are very, very, I will say, strongly going. So we as a company also, a lot of investment we are doing in 3-tier, 4-tier cities, and we are doing very, very well.
So, Nitesh, aapne, it was a great example and perhaps a good insight also as well, from Milan to Motihari or Baliam. So, the Milan fashion coming into Motihari or a Baliam, which is a tier 3 or a tier 4 town in the country. And, some of the brands in the country setting up shops out there to service the aspirational class of consumer which basically exists there. And according to Nitesh, the numbers are very encouraging.
Yes.
And he does believe that that is going to augment this dream of $2 trillion economy becoming a reality. And perhaps, unless we have these numbers coming to the front, this dream cannot become a reality.
Yeah, and the best thing is the profitability. If you do open a store in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, metro cities, your rent ratio to the real estate is almost 20, 22, 25%. In these markets, you hardly in 10%, 12%, you are able to manage and get a properties, and because intake margins are more or less same. You can't play a lot of with price in India. India is a very price sensitive market, so you have to be price sensitive, where you can make money with and also in the operating cost you can't pay less than minimum wages and all. So what is making a difference between metro and 3-tier, 4-tier city is a rental.
So हर्षी, नितेश ने जैसे बताया, so आपका मानना है कि अगर छोटी सिटीज में भी tier 2, tier 3 टाउन्स में भी जैसे रिटेल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के सेपरेट चार्जेस हों, जैसे इंडस्ट्रियल चार्ज दिया जा सकता है, अगर इंडस्ट्रियल चार्ज पे कमर्शियल सेक्टर को चार्ज किया जाए जो रिटेल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, तो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस बन जाता है. उसी तरीके से कुछ और चीज़ें की जा सकती हैं जिसमें रिटेल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को प्रोत्साहन मिल सकता है. सरकार चाहे तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना के दे सकती है, सरकार चाहे तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए ज़मीन प्राइवेट डेवलपर्स को दे सकती है, लॉन्ग लीज के ऊपर दे सकती है, 100 साल के लिए दे सकती है, जिसके अंदर वो रिटेल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट किया जा सकता है, जिसके अंदर ये 2 या 3 ट्रिलियन डॉलर का जो एक ड्रीम है, ये एक रियलिटी बन जाए.
एब्सोल्युटली, व्हाई नॉट. एंड जैसा आपने बोला कि ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस जो है ये एक पेन पॉइंट जरूर है. एंड वी वर डिस्कसिंग विद सम गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स 2 days बैक. Actually, it's a state subject also. Some states are very positive, like Gujarat. We are coming with a gift city where all approvals are, you can say, immediately available. And some cities are still the pain city. Somebody was mentioning 2 days back that Delhi is a pain city. Here the approvals are, it's a gift city and pain city. So where approvals are very delayed. But sooner or later, government is very positive, and we all are very lucky. We are in the right era. Our government, our Honorable Prime Minister, and entire ministers, they are doing a, you can say, very hard work, and we are moving in the right directions. And hopefully, this ease of doing business will be easy in everywhere. And coming to your question about the rental you were talking about.
So अगर जो है concessional rate पे आपको
Yes.
electricity मिले,
Yes, yes, electricity and maybe the land. Even Delhi is now planning that instead of selling the land, Delhi Development Authority is now coming with the license basis land. So they just you can say advertise a land 2 days back, where they are giving land now on 50 years or 60 years license, and there is no upfront fee, zero upfront fee. So coming up with souks, with malls in Delhi. So the government is really positive that, okay, we will get less price for the land or no price for the land, but the rental will be good. And if we are doing a good business, good retail development, the GST will come, the employment will come. A small mall of, you can say, around 600,000-700,000 square feet, like Vegas Mall, we are giving, you can say, employment to 5,000 direct and indirect people, 100 crore GST per annum. So these all data will certainly help the nation to grow. So the cost of land is very, you can say, small subject in this. So if the government is, you can say, interested to now allot land on concession basis, retail, no upfront fees, certainly the environment will come. And in the small cities, certainly yes. When Delhi is planning, small city will certainly come up, and coming up, even the DMRC model is now, metro is coming everywhere. They are now allotting land in all cities now on 50 years basis. So the rental will go down, and the business will certainly come up, and the government will get benefit in another way.
So, you know, what we can see is that the progressive steps being taken by the government are definitely fueling and aiding the retail infrastructure coming into the country. And as Hershey has suggested, and the other fellow panelists have suggested, that there is going to be a lot of movement in this, and perhaps the $2 trillion dream can become a reality in 2032. Moving on to Salilji. Salilji, you know, you are doing a business which is more on the mixed use development of land.
Correct.
Where, you know, formats like shop cum offices or formats of retail becoming a part of residential colonization is a reality. This has been prevalent in many, many parts of the world, but has not been so much prevalent in India as such. Since the time the organized residential colonization has started happening, now retail is becoming a part of such colonies in terms of whether it's a shop cum office or whether it is standalone brand shops which are getting created. Do you believe this is going to continue, and do you believe that this is going to fuel and aid the retail infrastructure in the country?
Yes. See, see the retail in the different perspective. Roti, kapda, makan is the necessity. So your F&B, your fashion, and your housing, these are essential requirements. But with the time, India, like we are talking about $1 trillion economy, trillions and trillions of economy. We were somewhere, say 15 years back, possibly 1 to 1.5 trillion. Today 4 trillion, and going to 6 trillion economy in next 3, 4, possibly 5 years at max. See, so now our combination of Gen Z and millennials, they are driving this retail market. And they need new experiences. So my statement is retail is no longer a shopping only. It is a good combination of shopping and very nice, elegant social spaces, where this generation would like to spend their evening hours, and of course coupled with weekends. If you see today, a gentleman, a family from Agra, they are driving down to Noida or Delhi just for a day, spending shopping, leisure, entertainment, and various other things during the weekends. That's why I have coupled with a good service apartment in the retail complex as well, Because people coming from other sites, they may stay even together for an evening, and large open format, organic, inorganic, box, unbox, high street, air conditioning mall, all combinations are needed now because you need very good social elegant space too. So this format is going to be extremely successful because Generation Z is looking for experiential retail. They are no longer want shopping. They are very, if you do not give them, they will fly to Dubai, they will fly to Milan, they will fly to other places in the world for having experiential shopping. So it is our majboori to give them good spaces here, otherwise market will be diminishing our market. So it is mandatory that we provide them sustainable, of course with low carbon footprint and various other things, good experiential retail, then definitely Gen Z and millennial, they will get the same thing here and the market will boom like anything. And number two, we are just 10% of the organized retail in India and going to 30% in 4-5 years. This is the data have been shown by many IPCs and many. So we have a large retail and possibly you said there are going to be big shortage of A-grade spaces. So this time the government is much requested to frame a policy which is suitable for development of good retail spaces across the country because that is the need of the hour. We have to have finally get at least 50, 60, 70% organized market. So it's bound to go very, very up. Nobody can stop it. But yes, good quality asset is needed by the Generation Z. Like you see, today big hotels are in big demand. A grade is in more demand. Similarly, A-class retail will have a much more demand there. So that is how, and of course, electricity and other charges are to be optimized through solar channels and various other amenities. Cost has to be, operational cost has to be optimized through various integration processes. Because cost is consideration always, of course. But India shining, definitely going ahead. It's time for India in various aspects, including retail. That is my statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Salilji. So one last question to Nitesh.
Please.
You know, Salilji spoke about community building. He spoke about humans being social animals, so need a social space to interact and need experiences around. And you know, in the back door, you were talking about going to Mahakumbh and getting your kurta on a quick commerce before you landed up in Mahakumbh. Now, how do you see the coexistence and convergence of physical retail channels alongside electronic commerce, which is a reality? Many of us need electronic commerce and quick commerce for our utilitarian needs. While on the experiential side, you need to have a chai samosa in the evening, or perhaps you need to basically change 5 dresses to buy one. You have to go physically to the store. Or you want to, on your evening stroll, want to have a dessert, you want to go out. Now, how do you see the convergence of electronic commerce, quick commerce, as well as the physical retail coexisting together?
Look, Praveen, everybody will work, everything will work, everybody will have their share of business. We can't say that only online will survive or only offline will survive. I am seeing this online business in India since 11 started growing. We targeted 5% of the business, then we targeted 10% of the business. Today also, if you ask me, the average 25% business is coming online for all the brands. Some of the brands I am seeing gone 50, 55% also. But their offline rentals and all are burning because a lot of consumer move to online. In India, still online is a matter of discount. If you ask how to increase sale to your online team, they will say, sir, let's put discount. There is no any other theory on this. Where in world, different places is a matter of convenience also, the buying. So online will be there. the new animal in the boardrooms are the quick commerce, which definitely is giving everybody a very, very strong competition. If I, as a consumer, you ask me, Sunday morning, my cook doesn't come, I order chai samosa from ABCD platform. Wife refused to make tea in the morning. Either I have to cook or I have to order from quick commerce. So I get tea in the morning. Last 2.5 years, I don't remember if I have bought anything like vegetable and all. We have bought going into the any offline store and all. So quick commerce is going into the veins of every consumer. Everybody is thinking how to get to this quick commerce. As a fashion lifestyle leader, I am little afraid. Like now, every online businesses also in Bangalore, even Myntra, Ajio, everybody is launched. In 2 hours, they can deliver whatever you want in 2 hours. Is happening. So now every retailer, I mean, we still started thinking and we are working on that how to get delivery in 2 hour, 3 hour to the consumer, because quick commerce is look like going to be big share of business.
So, great insights from
I have
Nitesh
one
also as
comment
well.
over here. I mean, not in a contrast. I do agree to the large extent, but to the best of my knowledge, we have, at the moment in totality, we have online is around 15% of the total real estate, your retail business. If you see the growth of India of retail business, which is astronomical high, if suppose say 15 out of 100 goes to 20, but at the same time, Indian retail market is going to 300% up in next 5-6 years. So that 85% is so huge. So next, one should not worry about online at all. That is my view. It is so astronomical high your offline is going. And one thing is there, like if you're talking to your girlfriend over the Zoom, it doesn't much excite you. The person you are having a coffee and chatting with your girlfriend. As per the science, all things including your fiber, your plastic, all have atoms. And when atoms are there, you love physical something talking to
I
them.
agree, Salilji. You cannot be more right in this.
I'll
Nitesh
take
ji
one
could
more
get
line.
a samosa
Yeah.
on quick commerce, but he cannot get a wife.
I
on
al-
quick
Yes,
commerce.
yes.
I
That's
also
what I'm
said-
saying.
I
That's
also
why
said
I'm
that
telling.
both will exist.
Like
Both will
both will
exist.
largely, and in person. I say every element has atoms, and atom attract each other. There have electrons, they dissipate energy, they like energy, they hate energy. You cannot discount offline, sir. It is so required. I tell you, why are you meeting here? We could have done on the Zoom everybody. But we are having, smiling, we are feeling each other. The feeling of touching would always be there. So believe me, there is a great future for physical retail, will always be there. And we're booming market, especially for India. One should not worry for at least next 25 years.
Good.
Just,
So this
just,
is so
just
good
last
yeah.
line. I said that both will continue.
Yes.
But what is happening, people like us, I am adding Salilji also, we are refusing to, after 40, we are refusing to understand where the change is happening. Ask 25 years old person, 20 years old person, what is happening. Last 1.5 years as a retailer, we know how much growth and how much consumption is growing in online. And a lot of offline, in offline. And a lot of online, this quick commerce businesses coming and making million, they are becoming billion, right? So definitely the growth part is there, but I'm not saying that offline will close, offline will be there.
Bilkul. So I believe that coexistence, as we spoke about, is going to be there, and perhaps one of the channels may grow at a faster pace than the other. There is going to be space around. Now, as we open the panelists to any questions that you may have, the culmination is that fun, food, fashion, films, fitness are going to remain in vogue in the physical retail spaces. They're going to make more experiential spaces. Hershey and CRC would go on coming up with better malls. Niteshji would go on coming up with more experiential stores. Peter would fuel the growth by coming out with loyalty programs which are going to get the customers back again to the stores. But perhaps, there is coexistence with the electronic commerce and quick commerce channels which are basically adding fuel and growth to the economy, because this $2 trillion economy is not only physical retail, it's a culmination and combination of both physical as well as electronic retail commerce channels. And unless both of them exist, we cannot really achieve this dream. So my take is that this coexistence and collaborative environment shall continue. And as we see a more progressive government fueling this growth, we all should be able to see a rosy future in the sector of retail. While the time is up, anyone if has any questions, you're welcome to answer it. While Anish is refusing that no one is allowed to ask a question.
Thank you. Then.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.